Singapore's population is projected to age rather rapidly. From today's 12.4%, we'll see a steady increase, and by 2030, we're expected to, or rather 24% of the population is expected to be 55 years and above. So with a group of colleagues, we got together, discussed the challenges, and thought it was a good idea to set up a center.
The Center for Aging Research in the Environment is well placed to be a global thought leader in the world, as well as focus in Asia. Very important aspect in terms of the work that we do here, it is to share the knowledge that we have gained through our research, not just through educating the young, but also to share with the public.
Our School of Design and Environment at NUS, or SDE, is really the only comprehensive school in Singapore that provides an integrated and holistic education training that pertains to both the built environment as well as the natural environment.
So some of the topics that we are interested in are designing for dementia. Another area is long-term aged care. Within these two topics, we want to set them within the community. So the notion of community aging in place is again a very important area to study, so that we can develop the most sustainable form of support for the elderly.
Designers and planners can play a big role in aging research by envisioning neighborhoods that are age-friendly, dementia-friendly, and neighborhoods that can be flexible and adaptable to the changing needs and aspirations of the future populations.
My current interest actually is the future of the relation of space and health. What I'm doing with my students for the last 2 years is to look into how we can break down the primary care down to the living environment and somehow absorb it within the housing, particularly the housing environment, so that it's more available, so that it's easily reachable, flexible, and robust in that sense to somehow persist in those new circumstances.
I suppose at the urban design level, we're really now talking about design of public spaces, and then the kind of material that they use, the kind of visual cues, this kind of visual landmarks, may I say, all these are important. When it comes to senior citizens, the preferred mode of transportation is the bus. That's for longer distances. Then, for shorter distances, what do we do with the environment to make it more walkable for them? For it to be safe, for it to be universally accessible, such that it will encourage them to walk more than they would usually do, simply because of clever planning.
In the real estate department, one of the study I'm directed, the title is called Life Cycle Financing and Policy Analysis. What we found is, with the 1% interest rate increase, most of the households will save around $700 per month. Another area we try to study is, because housing is the largest asset of most households, especially whether because of the aging population, by the age of 50 or 65, Singaporean will be becoming asset rich but cash poor. So the study, including like the product like reverse mortgage, aging related bonds and security investment vehicles, are all areas of what we are studying.
From the human resource management point of view, I think the first thing we need to do is to find out the problems that the aging people in the construction industry face. We also need to look for ways to redesign jobs and recraft jobs for supervisors and engineers so that they can work comfortably as they age.
I was involved in the project on ICT-assisted living for elderly. My perspective to that is we identify the elderly's resources and the emotions and the motivations, and we empower them so that they can manage the independent living. In 2016, we did a project on designing for age-friendly workplaces for mature workers. we thought that the solutions should be holistic, that encompass older workers' physical condition, but also psychology and also social relationships, so that they can feel empowered and motivated and safe and productive in their workplaces.
With the 3 departments in the division, we are really able to provide a very, very comprehensive and integrated approach to the various parameters and factors affecting the aging population in Singapore.
So at the moment, we have several PhD students who are looking at issues related to aging.
Through the construction of community-based care network, senior citizens will achieve a better and active later life.
My research is about the neighborhood environment for the elderly aging in place, focusing on developing a framework for age-friendly neighborhood evaluation in Asia high-density context.
I'm interested in the physical environment for people with dementia in terms of wayfinding in the high-rise and high-density context of Singapore.
I study neighborhood effects on older adults' mental health, especially at public housing neighborhoods where I believe can be enhanced with protective effects via intergenerational interactions.
I want to be a part of creating a world in which people can feel included regardless of how old they are, where people can engage equally in opportunities regardless of their age.
This is not research in some ivory tower or in some lab. It is a very real and pragmatic topic, and therefore the outreach to the community and engaging the stakeholders who are going to be the eventual recipients, right, of the outcome or the output of the center in terms of the built environment is absolutely critical.
We hope to get the support from both the government and the public sector to support the research agenda that we have.
On behalf of the School of Design and Environment, I would like to invite our supporters and collaborators to join us in this meaningful endeavor as we aspire to transform the lives of the elderly in Singapore through creative designs and supportive environments.